Systems will always beat motivation. Two of my passions are lifting and language learning. And when I started lifting, it made me realize a lot about how I view motivation, discipline, and consistency. Um, when I was growing up, I would play some sports, and I always thought that, oh man, you always gotta hustle, always gotta be super motivated, and like be the most intense, like hardest worker in the room. But when I started lifting, it made me start to realize, like, okay, maybe that's not entirely true, right? Um, the thing that actually gets you far in the long run is having some kind of consistent system that will stay intact even on like on any kind of day, whether it's a good day or it's a bad day, a day where you can only give like 20 or 30%, but it's still something that will, you know, at the very least be maintained or like let you progress incrementally over time. Okay. Because, like there's been many times where I've been lifting and like I just don't even feel like showing up that day. But I still go and at least give um even like 50% motivation. And it's still, maybe it's not the best workout in the world, but it's still something. And that's the exact same case with language learning, right? I'm learning Vietnamese right now, but there's going to be days where I don't want to actually do anything in Vietnamese, because English is my better language. So it does take some effort to use Vietnamese. And some days I just kind of like want to turn off my Vietnamese brain. But even those days, I still have a good enough system. For example, my massive amounts of like media input that I can rely on. That's as minimal effort as possible, but still lets me progress even in the slightest way. Okay, like it doesn't have to be a day where I do like 5 hours of like audio listening and then talk to like a native friend for like 3 hours, right? It can even just be like half an hour of like listening to a podcast that day, right? And I can maybe even be like half paying attention, but it's still passively going into my ears. So yeah, that probably goes without saying for a lot of things in life. Um, motivation, it's gets you hyped up and like excited in the initial stages, but it can drop down really fast, right? So if you have a system um, that you can rely on and actually stick to and enjoy, for it's something that like want to get joy out of doing in your life, then that's probably a better thing to focus on than just trying to be like the most like intense hardest worker in the room.